what is the population and what is its composition? So, Greece has two different communities. The first one is in Thrace, and based on the statistical data, it amounts to 130,000 people, according to estimates. And the rest of Greece, where we have a community of immigrants dating back 50 years ago. And these people come mostly from the Middle East. And before the crisis, they amounted to 750,000. According to estimates, this population has now decreased because many people went to West Europe, and now it amounts to about 500,000 people. These are Greek citizens and Greek nationals, and there are also 880,000 immigrants, but according to estimates, of course, because we also have the protection of personal data now. So thank you for this answer. Based on the first episode, which is dedicated to the International Day on Human Rights, I would like to ask, what is the general situation of the Muslims in Greece, and what is the main problems that they face, according to you? Okay, the situation of the Muslims in Greece. Okay, this is a broad question. We can talk for a long time, endlessly about this issue. The truth is that currently we are in stagnation since many years, and our only claim is equal treatment of citizens when it comes to justice. So equal laws for everyone. But this is a long journey and a difficult one. So we strive as a civil society, we strive and we want to put pressure on the Greek state, hoping that it will understand that all citizens are equal, regardless of the religion. And of course, this has many dimensions: education, social issues, employment. Therefore, the nucleus, the core of the problem is equal laws for everyone. This is something that we haven't conquest yet. We are very well aware of the racist people and of the Islamophobic people. Um, but from a broader perspective, what is the level of racism in the policies, the public, in all the fields? Islamophobia in Greece is a newly established term. Well, there used to be racist phenomenon, xenophobia towards the foreign employees and workers, to foreign, to other religions. But this is something that gained ground in Europe and now has been introduced to Greece. And currently, as regards the Muslims in Greece, there is a new way in which the Greek state regards them. So the Greek state shows mistrust towards these Muslim people, and based on the popularism and the rise of the extreme right, this new rhetoric begins and has reached some phenomena of criminal acts and racist acts, some of which have been recorded and some others haven't. But, however, we've always shown trust to the justice, and we always refer to the justice in hoping that it will administer justice. But as far as Islamophobia is concerned, it's something that needs to be further discussed, but we need to find the people to talk to. not just have a basic agreement from the civil society. We want the agreement of the political parties in order to be able to talk all together, because racism and hate do not only affect the weak people but the society as a whole. It affects the whole society because eventually, if the hate will trigger hate, this will not have any benefit for anyone. So thank you for this concise answer. A mosque without a minaret, that used to be a shed of the army, is now open for pilgrimage for the Muslim people, and it is now open in Athens. Do you think that this workshop area with a capacity of 350 people is sufficient for a city like Athens? Listen, the history of this mosque in Athens is more complex, and it also has some, you know, sour background. When in 2000 there was a law by Mr. Pagalos regarding the construction of a mosque in Paeania, in the area of Paeania in Athens, but the architect back then refused. So in 2006, the Minister of Education said that, okay, the communities can submit a proposal for building a mosque. And indeed, the Muslim Association of Greece submitted a request and made a recommendation for a public mosque, so that there is no funding by any state. The only funding would come from the European Union. So all this procedure with the change of government, the change of policies, the funds that were no longer sufficient, all these, let's not forget that this space where the mosque was going to be built was used by the extreme right that occupied it, and to hold protests. So none of these things eventually materialized because the space proved to be not sufficient, not appropriate. Therefore, a prefabricated construction was made, which houses very basically, in a basic way, those who want to pray. I cannot call it a mosque, but okay, just like all the other garage and parking spaces that are used for praying. It doesn't have minaret, and it doesn't have the architectural features that usually mosques have. But this is not good because the Greek state is as if the Greek state tells us, okay, we may consider a space for you, but don't you should not uh, consider that we will give you an appropriate space with everything it takes for you to call it a mosque. Anyway, it is a trial operation. I don't know exactly how things will evolve and how it will operate. Of course, the space for the prayer of women is even narrower. The women that go there, I'm sure, will know exactly what I mean. It's a very narrow space. But of course, this demonstrates how the state regards us. The state wants to give us less and less every time. For example, we would like to have the level that the people, the Muslim people living in Greece deserve. And of course, we should have the level that deserve the people, the Muslim people that go to the universities in Greece deserve. All the things that we currently have are far from the level that we deserve. So the effort of the Muslim Association, which mostly consists of young people, which has young people studying at the university who are fully integrated into the society, well, they need something that will not be degrading. I mean, we need a place for prayer that fully corresponds to our level. So we are at the zero level because currently we do have this building. It's a small one, but that's not the main problem. And of course, the people that live very far from this place cannot go there easily. So the way it operates and the structure of the building, all these things show that we still have a long way ahead in order to ensure that all those who want to pray properly will be able to do that properly in Greece. I really wish we could have a mosque that could be accessible to people that want to visit it. Well, yes, yes, we're still lagging behind in this field. Okay, another topical issue, the decision of the Council of State regarding the slaughter of animals. So the Council of State prohibits the slaughter of animals without anesthesia because it is contrary to the Greek legislation and it is contrary to the EU legislation. What is the opinion of the Muslim Association of Greece on this matter? Okay, yes, indeed, that was a surprise, and this can be interpreted in many ways. Of course, this is not the law of the state, it is a decision of the Council of the State, which says that applies to both religions, Islam and the Jewish religion. So it applies to both minorities of the country. So we're not talking about newly introduced habits. These habits have been established long time ago, and they are used by both the Jewish and the Muslim communities, minorities. Of course, this has nothing to do with the mercy towards animals, given that regardless of how these animals will be killed, anyway, the industrial livestock farming has introduced uses very different ways for killing the animals. In halal and kosher, there is also a religious element. There is a brief prayer, and then there is a positioning But of course, all these presuppose religious character. This is something that the Council of State tries to eliminate. We, as an association, were part of the Muslim Jewish Leadership Council, which is a Muslim and Jewish council at the European level, led by Mufti and rabbins in Europe, and they discuss about this at a European level, because of course this is something that has to do with the suppression of religious freedoms. This is something that is gradually done in Europe, and that is the reason why they do it. So, and in Greece, of course, there has been a joint ministerial decision in 2017 which promotes halal in countries in order to have income revenues from the halal products. I don't know how this decision would be beneficial for the country, because if we talk about financial terms, and there are many companies right now that export halal without being Muslims. They only have the certification because the consumer who will consume must be sure that they consume halal and kosher, because these are exported to many countries. So this will result in decrease in the revenue of the country, and of course this will also drop the income of many companies in Greece that have such products. And of course, the Muslims will not be discouraged of eating halal or live in the country. I mean, I don't know what the aim of this decision is. There is some contradiction. It is contradictory to some extent. So we're expecting to have a dialogue in order to solve this. Yes, everything is based on the dialogue. My last question is, what is the position of the state regarding the Muslims in Greece? And do you participate in procedures, in decision-making procedures as a Muslim Association of Greece on issues that are related to the Muslim minority? Listen, the different issues related to education, religion, access of Muslim citizens in the public sector, in the labor market, etc. All these are issues that haven't been solved and haven't been addressed at all. And I think that a large part of the political world has ignorance about the situation among the Muslims. And of course, the political world is affected, is influenced by the foreign policy, the conflicts in Turkey. But this should not concern the Muslim citizens in Greece, but the Greek state should consider the Muslim citizens as its own citizens, and the Greek state should have a dialogue with these Muslim people. And when Muslim people make a request to the state should not consider that this Muslim population serves some other political interests. So let's not forget that as a minority, as members of this minority, the youngsters and other members of this minority face more problems than the other people. So I really hope that the young people graduate from the universities will be heard by the state. And due to the fact that there is an ignorance and there is a continuation maintenance and continuity of these stereotypes, And given the fact that the young people of the Muslim communities have many problems that have not at all been addressed by the Greek state, I think that we should look at all this in a more uh, honest way, because it's a shame. It's a shame that that this happens. So, reaching the end of our show, I would like to thank, first of all, you for your participation, for sharing the first episode with you, the technical support and the interpreter, and all those who have attended this show. Thank you very much. Bye bye.